Kirby Smart, you're a dirtbag. I'm going to explain why. It's not like he's got an argument. It's a complete lie. He's like, no, I was clapping. They show the replay. He's running down, timeout. It's in slow-mo. Timeout. Time. You weren't clapping. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, this game had everything. And, of course, we haven't talked about the play. Trust me. We're going to get to the play, but I'm just addressing some of the things that are on my mind first. What? What in the 2008 LSU versus South Carolina Stephen Garcia did I just watch? You got to be a real ball knower to even know what I'm talking about. Don't say Matty doesn't know ball. I'm like an encyclopedia, not to like toot my own horn or anything. What in the 2008 LSU versus South Carolina Stephen Garcia did I just watch? 99% of you are going, Matt, what are you talking about? Some of you may know. There was a play in 2008. I can't show you. It is copyrighted, not probably NCAA. They own the rights to the footage. But Stephen Garcia is running up the middle. It was like a quarterback run, or the play broke down. He was running. Quarterback for South Carolina. I'll give you some context. And my apologies. The ref, no lie, doesn't just tackle him, but he shoulder checks him. Garcia's trying to avoid him, and the ref's like, no, come here. Boom! Shoulder checks him. What I'm talking about, why I'm bringing that up, because that's how it felt watching this Auburn versus Georgia game. What did I just get done watching? The game just finished. That's why I'm making this video. I am in awe. I'm in disgust for Auburn fans. Now, I know what my Georgia fans are saying. By the way, sorry, I was about to burp. Why are Georgia fans tweeting at me? For those of you who don't know, we tweet during the games. We have a great time over there. If you're not following the Twitter, what are you doing? One of the best communities ever. Shout out to the Twitter community. Why are Georgia fans tweeting at me? Have we not made this clear and obvious? I thought we came to an understanding. We own you. By the way, I'm talking about Alabama. You can't tweet at me. That's like Ohio State talking trash to Michigan. Everybody, it's an unwritten rule. We own you. You're not even our little brother. We are your owner. Like, Ohio State is Michigan's little brother currently. But that's going to change. We're your owner forever and always. We've been owning you for 20 plus years. It's just eternity. You have no right to be tweeting at me for any reason. It's not like they're saying bad things. It's just, stop talking to me. What are y'all doing? The reasoning I bring that up is because I was like, man, the refs are awful in the game. You can go to my Twitter, see what I was saying. Nothing crazy. But then Georgia fans like, oh, Matt, you're just upset. You're just jealous. Why would I be jealous of you? We own you. What are you talking about? See, that's the thing with Georgia fans. They get this big ego, but then they get brought back down to earth when they play Bama. They shut up for a week. But then once they start winning games, they get back up on their high horse. And I love the Georgia fans, the cool ones. But, man, you want to talk about a toxic fan base. It's the Georgia, but I couldn't imagine how big their ego would be if they beat Alabama once every 20 years. They can't even do that. I digress. We're not here to talk about that. This could be a lengthy video because I'm pissed off. You know it's bad. Look, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you would know I am the farthest thing from an Auburn Tiger football fan. I'm an Alabama fan. I don't hide that, although I do pride myself on being an analyst first, Bama fan second. There's no way you can say, oh, well, you have bias towards Auburn. No. No. What are you going to say? Because I've seen all these people on Twitter talking about all these Auburn fans. They're just crying. You know, they're biased. Of course, they think they call. I'm telling you, this is the most unbiased opinion game review you're going to get. It doesn't get any more unbiased than an Alabama fan giving Auburn some credit, respect, and just saying, hey, they got screwed. I just watched Auburn get screwed on national television. More than once. Let me calm down. Walk around a little bit. You like the new skeleton, by the way? Hey, what are we naming this fella? We gotta get a name for him. Calm down, Matt. Calm down. Chill. Take a chill pill, brother. Kirby Smart, you're a dirtbag. I'm gonna explain why. I never thought these words would come out of my mouth. I'm gonna say it again. Kirby Smart, you're a dirtbag. I don't like liars. And I get it. It's in the game and whatnot, and you gotta do what you gotta do. That was a dirtbag move. And you know what I'm talking about. Timothy and Bobby. I see you. Hey, is that Brad and Chad? I see y'all. Yeah, I see you watching. Yeah. Oh, wait, you got the family size barbecue chips? Normally you get the sour cream and onion. Yeah, those are pretty good, but anyways. Kirby Smart is screaming. He is hooting and hollering. Time out, right down the sideline. That's cool. Play clock goes to 0. So we either got one or two options as the ref. We're either calling delay a game or you're giving the timeout to Kirby Smart. It can't be a nothing burger. Well, you look up, they pan the camera over to Kirby Smart. It's not that he thought like America wasn't going to see. I don't know what he was thinking. It's crazy because he got away with it. We'll get to it in just a second. He is then pleading to the ref because I'm sitting here going, when the play happened, I was like, all right, sweet, it's going to be a timeout. I'll get up. I was actually downstairs, walked to the fridge to get me a drink. And Greg McElroy, he was on the call, wasn't he? I think he was. Sorry if I'm missing that because I watch so many games, I forget sometimes. And he's like, well, wait a minute. It looks like they're not going to call anything. I'm like, what? I walk back over to the TV, and they're showing Kirby Smart saying, no, I was clapping. Like, I was saying, hey, we got to get the play up. I was clapping. No timeout. You know, he's doing his whole spaz attack. See, here's the thing. Nobody's going to try to convince you of something more than a liar. They're going to try everything in their willpower. Kirby Smart is trying to convince the ref that he wasn't calling for a timeout. All I got to say about that, that's a dirtbag move if I've ever seen one. I thought it was embarrassing. That's an outsider's perspective. I don't even know how, as like a Georgia fan, you can be, oh yeah, that's my coach. Is it funny? Yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny, but on a serious note, it's just like, really? Kind of embarrassing. If you got to ask me, just my personal opinion, they wind up showing the replay. It's not like he's got an argument. It's a complete lie. He's like, no, I was clapping. They show the replay. He's running down, timeout. It's in slow-mo. Timeout. You weren't clapping. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, this game had everything. And, of course, we haven't talked about the play. Trust me. We're going to get to the play, but I'm just addressing some of the things that are on my mind first. All right, we got to talk about it because to say it was the play of the game would be understating it. Good googly moogly. Maybe the play of a lifetime. I've never seen a play have that big of a factor on a game since I don't know when. I'm not just talking about like, oh, it won you the game. I'm talking about changed the game. Golly. And I knew it. I texted my neighbor. He's an Auburn fan. Shout out to you. You know who you are if you're watching this video. I was like, yeah, the game's over. I texted him at halftime, the game's over. Georgia's going to win. Auburn was winning. Why did I say that? Because you're nerds, you're dorks, you're Timothy and Bobbies, you're Brad and Chads. They don't get it. They didn't play sports. Momentum is a real thing. It changes games entirely. Because your casuals are going to say, well, Matty, that was just a 7-point play. If Auburn gets it, you know, Georgia still shuts them out in the second half. Georgia dominates. It don't work that way. It don't. Because if Auburn scores there, they continue the momentum into the second half, and the second half is entirely different. If you know ball, whether you play basketball, baseball, water polo, lacrosse, so any sport, soccer, I don't care. You know what I'm talking about. Momentum is just something you can't go, oh, well, yeah, Georgia still shuts them out in the second half. No, it's an entirely different game. I think, here's what's crazy about it, right? I think if Auburn gets that touchdown there, not only do they go up 17-0, because some people are going to say, well, Matt, Georgia still got the field goal at the end of the half. No, I think they shut Georgia out 17-0. Their crowd would have been rocking because Georgia would have kicked it off to, my apologies. Auburn would have kicked off to Georgia like a minute and 30 to go until halftime. Georgia had no timeouts. The Auburn edge rushers would know, hey, obvious passing situation. I firmly believe it would have been 17-0 at half, and this game would have been all but over. Auburn could have continued in the second half just to do what they were doing. The RPOs, running it every single play, the quarterback draws, everything they were doing up until, what would you call it? I guess just the Jackson Arnold fumble. You're talking about inches. Now let's talk about the play itself. Well, I don't want to harp on it for 5 minutes because it's a subjective thing. To me, it was obvious. I thought it was a touchdown. But man, was it close. I will say, I do understand why it got upheld. We'll put it like that. It was one of those where, the question is, did you have enough indisputable video evidence? I thought they did, but it's subjective. So just because MattBeGreat's in the man cave eating cheesy puffs thinks, hey, you got indisputable video evidence, it doesn't mean some nerd in the booth goes, oh, no, I don't think that's enough. That's what it comes down to. We can go frame by frame. I'm sure some of you have seen it on Twitter by this point in time. It looks like he's got control right when the tip of the ball's over the line and then it gets punched out. To each their own. We could argue about that for 20 minutes. All I know is it changed the game. Instead of being 17-0 heading into half, it's 10-3. That was a gut punch. 10-3. And weirdly enough, I have empathy for Auburn fans because Alabama went through it today. Alabama dominated Missouri the entire first half. I thought Alabama should have been up bare minimum 24-7. 17 points at half, so similar situation here. I said in the video earlier today, check it out for yourself if you want to see. It's documented on the channel. I said, yeah, we should have been up by 17 points. So many bad things happen at the end of half. You look up, Alabama's only up by 7. Oh my golly. We just squandered an impeccable first half performance on the road. We're only up by 7. This is terrible news for a second half, and it was. Fortunately, Alabama hung on to the win, so I feel good about it. I'm like, whatever. I can overlook it. But as an Auburn fan, this is one that's going to keep you up for the next couple of nights. You'll be talking about in 10 years, like, hey, remember that Jackson Arnold fumble that changed the Georgia game entirely? Golly. I saw a stat line. I'm not going to write this down. I'll write down the quarterback stats in just a second. Before the fumble, Auburn had 230 total yards. Georgia had 20. Before the fumble, Georgia had 2. Not 20, not 200, 2 rushing yards. You can't make it up. And after the fumble, you felt the momentum shift. I felt it sitting on my couch downstairs. I'm like, it's over. It's over. Like I said, I texted my neighbor. I said, hey, man, it's over. I hate it happened to you. It's one of those things where if you didn't play sports, it's going to be hard to grasp. It's like, well, Matt, just because that didn't go their way, you can still show up in the second half. It's so demoralizing. You felt it through the TV. I felt it. The team felt it. Hugh Freeze felt it. Why do you think he threw his headset and he's cussing? One, Auburn's gotten hosed all year long by the officials. Nobody's been hosed more in a season by the Auburn Tigers. Golly, I feel bad for that fan base. I feel bad for the football team. I feel bad for Hugh Freeze. I really do. They get hosed every other week. Or at this point in time, it seems like every week. And then you have the timeout call where they don't even make Kirby Smart burn a timeout. They don't give him a delay game. And then we didn't even talk about this too much. So after the after the fumble, thinking of Mark Sanchez. By the way, different conversation for a different day. What in the world did he do this past week? Golly. So after the fumble, Georgia has it on the 1. I swear there was like 7 penalty flags thrown before halftime. Like there was 2 minutes to go when Georgia had the ball. There had to be 7 or 8 penalty flags thrown. Auburn had 11 penalties for 100 yards heading into the fourth quarter. It was insane. Now here's the thing. A bunch of those outside of a couple, that's what I'm trying to say, were penalties. But it's just one of those where you felt like the refs were against you, and it's hard not to, especially after that fumble. And then you have the whole victim mentality and the poor me. You saw it on Jackson Arnold. You saw it on the team. It changed the game, and it's why I'm talking about it so much. After that play, Hugh Freeze, every single time the camera panned over to him, it looked like he wanted to die. The camera panned over Jackson Arnold. He's like, the team demoralized. The defense, heck, they played flawless. Auburn has a top 10 defense in the nation, but eventually they're going to wear down when the offense can't even get a first down. They're beyond sick and tired. So, of course, Georgia got some yards here and there. We haven't really talked about Georgia much because that's not really the storyline of this game. The storyline is that one play and just how Auburn laid a goose egg. I will clap it up to Georgia. Way to show some resiliency. You didn't look good, but me and you both know this as a Bama fan. There is witchcraft in that stadium. It don't matter how you look. It don't matter how bad you play. A win is a win. Did Georgia look good tonight? No. Did they look average? No. They looked bad. The second half was good. First half, they looked bad. Bad. And even in the second half, they had some stretches where it's like, not looking too good. But you go into Jordan-Hare Stadium, I don't care if you have 5 total yards of offense. If you win the game, you got a big smile on you. You're grinning from ear to ear. Congratulations to Georgia. You don't apologize for winning Jordan-Hare Stadium. You gotta ask me, it's one of the most hostile environments in the nation. Maybe I just got PTSD from being a Bama fan. And at night, that place was rocking. Cam Newton, I think he retired his jersey tonight. Yeah, that's a great win for Georgia. You did what you needed to do. You bounced back in the second half. This is one of those gutsy wins, man, where you weren't playing good. God, dude, these feel good to win. I remember when we had Bryce Young and we won that game where it was 3-10. We had to go 98 yards with no timeouts. It was crazy because Bryce Young and the offense weren't doing anything. And on the final drive, well, he had his Heisman moment in Jordan-Hare Stadium. It feels amazing winning a game in which you don't play that great in. So I relate to Georgia fans there. I also relate to Auburn fans with their situation. You love to be on the winning side, but unfortunately in this life, for there to be winners, you got to have losers. Auburn, they came out on the losing side. I think I touched on everything before we get into the whiteboard stats. Look, Auburn got hosed. There's not too much more to say about that. Gunnar Stockton looked good. Oh, Jackson Arnold, we'll talk about him when we write down the numbers more. Yeah. Didn't learn anything new about him. He's an awful thrower. He's an outstanding runner. And when you get away from the game plan of running, and if Auburn's ever trailing in a game, they're going to lose. That's the thing with Auburn. When they're winning and when they were up 10-0, about to be 17-0, that's why the offense was looking crisp. It was looking clean. Because when you're leading, you can run the ball every single play. You can do what you want. When you're losing by 3 or 7, and the defense takes away and you got to go score, they make you put it in the air. That's when this Auburn offense is just pitiful. Cam Coleman, I don't know why he's at Auburn. He just needs to enter the transfer portal. Now, let's pull up the box score. I feel like I'm missing something else. We already talked about Kirby Smart with the dirtbag move. That is what it is. Oh, yeah, the Georgia defense. Y'all did good. Yeah, Georgia offense. Yeah, covered pretty much everything. Let's get into the box score. Interesting stat line. I don't think I've ever had this happen before in the history of the channel. Both quarterbacks had 0 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions. That is a unicorn stat line if I've ever seen one. Jackson Arnold on the night. 19 for 31, 137, 0 tutties, 0 INTs. He did have the 1 rushing touchdown. We'll write down the rushing yards in just a second. Stockton, 23 for 36, 212 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Both quarterbacks did an excellent job of taking care of the ball. Stockton and Arnold both had 1 rushing touchdown. Kirby Smart was pretty irate with Stockton running that one at the end. Was it a big deal? No, but here's the thing. You didn't want Stockton to go in the end zone because if you slide and take a knee, the game's over. By scoring, you're up 10, and yeah, you're probably going to win, but mathematically and technically, it's not over. That's why Kirby Smart wanted to take that knee, which I agree with. Arnold had 55 yards, even with the sacks. Stockton, 9 carries for 26 yards. Pretty good. 1 touchdown. Golly, man. It's going to be tough to see if you're an Auburn fan. You might want to click off the video right now. I'm warning you. Anytime you win the rushing battle by nearly double and lose, hate to see it. Auburn had 140 rushing yards. Georgia had 79, averaged 2.5 yards per carry. But yet, Auburn wins the game. How many total yards did Georgia have? Georgia had 291. Auburn had 277. Auburn was really efficient on third downs, believe it or not. 8 for 17, 5 for 14 for Georgia. Auburn was 1 for 3 on third downs. Oh, yeah, Jackson Dart had that one little floater pass. Guy couldn't bring it in. Nothing went Auburn's way in the second half. I think they only got 1 first down. Georgia didn't have a turnover, by the way. Auburn had 1 first down in the second half and maybe, 30 total yards of offense. I mean, they couldn't do anything. What was the time of possession? I'm curious. Okay, it was even, actually. 30-30 almost. Yep, Auburn dominated the first half. Georgia dominated the second half. I can't believe. I mean, if you would have told me right before that quarterback sneak, Georgia's going to win by double digits, I'm like, man, get out of here. Georgia only had 2 rushing yards. What are you talking about they're going to win by double digits? They did. They won by double digits. Good one for Georgia yet again. Auburn, I feel for you. Demoralizing as it gets. Where do you go from here? Well, your season's over. You're 0-3 in conference play. Is this a 3-game losing streak? Yeah, I think it may be. I don't know. I don't know what to do from here. You're not going to fire Hugh Freeze. Your main goal should just be to fix the offense. We'll talk about this later in the week or early next week. The week coming up, again, I'm trying to say. I don't know. But all I know is Georgia, they're still alive for the playoff. Even with a loss, they wouldn't have been out, but it wouldn't have been looking pretty. They control their own destiny. I believe they got Ole Miss in the lane train next week. That should be a pretty good one. Yeah, many more things I could say. Got to watch some film, get ready for the Sunday recap. Come on to the channel, or come on back to the channel tomorrow for that. I'll see y'all then. Let me know your thoughts down below. But